Hey everybody, welcome to the Unconventional Attorney Podcast. I'm your host, Christopher Small, and I am the Unconventional Attorney. What is up everybody? Hope you're having a good day, week, everything. First things first, I think I kind of want to apologize for the last episode because it wasn't that good. The reason it wasn't that good is because I was trying a new thing, honestly. I was in Kansas City and I'm trying to get this audio quality to be like legit, to be good. And one of the things that I've found out that you can do is there's an app on my phone that I can use. It's called Filmic Pro, and it allows you to use your AirPod as a microphone. And the sound is actually decent. I think the sound last time was decent, but what you couldn't tell was that when you use the AirPod with that app, there's an echo. So every time I would say something, it would be peppering back in my dome. And I have no idea how those sportscasters do it, but it was really sort of quite, distracting. And so I know I was jumping around. I was probably talking a lot slower than I normally talk, and it just was like, it was kind of whack. But I'm like, F it. I'm putting it out. It'll be fine. It's going to be one episode in a group of 100 episodes, 1,000 episodes, hopefully, eventually. And, you guys will hear this episode and then you'll forgive me for having a terrible episode. But in any event, I wanted to get it out. I thought it'd be cool. I was trying that thing out. So what's going to happen now is if I'm recording these on the road, you're just going to have mediocre to high audio quality instead of really, really good audio quality, which I hope is what you're experiencing today and into the future. So let's see. One of the things I want to talk about, I got a bunch of pre-stuff to talk about, okay, before we get going anywhere. One of the things I want to talk about is I am doing, next Friday, June 28th, depending on when you're listening to this, I am doing a laser workshop. I'm going to be in Kansas City for my Q3 Inner Circle meeting, and I wanted to throw something together for any local attorneys that wanted to come in. It's super cheap. It's only $50. The reason it's $50 is because there's only 15 spots, and I don't want people to say they're going to come and then not come. So I hope $50 is enough to get you there. It's going to be a half day. Basically, we're going to go 8 a.m. to noon. I'm going to walk you through my unconventional branding strategy from start to finish. It's going to be sick. It's going to be amazing. Your minds are going to be blown. And hopefully it'll help your business. And stay tuned, by the way, into the future, because anytime I travel, my plan is to try to just put one of these together real quick and throw them out there. I love teaching this stuff. I love talking about it. I love meeting all of you face to face. And this I think is kind of one of the coolest, easiest ways to do that. So if you are in the Kansas City area, and what that means is willing to drive to Kansas City on Friday, June 28th in the morning, then go to, I don't even know what the link is. It is something like, I can find it real quick. Doggone it. Let me find this bad boy real quick. All right. By the way, let's talk about the other thing that we're doing real quick. That is, I have 55 reviews and ratings on iTunes. So I want to thank all of you for that. So in a moment, we are going to do a drawing for 2 10-pack influential books, and I'm excited to do that with you guys. I have no idea who's going to win. Obviously, there's a lot of you that gave reviews, a lot of friends and family, and anybody that I could ask basically gave reviews too. So hopefully somebody cool wins it and not somebody that's not cool. Let's see here. Simple. So if you are interested in coming to Kansas City in the morning, $50, 8 a.m. to noon, June 28th, it's theunconventionalattorney.com/laser workshop. LASER, because I'm pretty sure that's the right way to spell laser, although I'm not certain at this exact moment now that I'm talking about it. But if you want to come, theunconventionalattorney.com/laser workshop. There's only 15 spots available. I can tell you right now there's only 10 spots available as of the time of recording this. But don't just not go check because you don't think you'll be able to come. Go check it out. All right, that's the first thing that I wanted to talk about. Second thing I wanted to talk about was these books, these ratings. I give you all this information for free. One of the only things that I ask is that, and actually I'm giving you more for free because I'm giving away these books. Only thing I'm asking is if you like the show, right? If it's helping you in your law firm or helping you in your business, depending on who you are, then please go and rate, review, subscribe. Okay, it helps other people find this show, and honestly, what it does is when this gets bigger like this, it makes it easier for me to get people to come on and do interviews. I think in the future here soon, I'm going to start trying to schedule like one interview a month, and I'm going to try to just make it really, really good. So if you're interested in that, if you want to be a part of that, go and rate, review, subscribe. And then what I do is every time we get 25 more reviews, I'm going to do another drawing for another pack. And if you're in the list, you're always going to be in there. So for today we have 55 reviews. I'm doing a random number generator from 1 to 55. It's already spit out one number for me. We'll go find out who that is, and then we're going to go spit out another number, and we'll go find out who that person is. The other thing that's important, okay, by the way, hopefully these people are still listening to this podcast, because I don't think I have a lot of contact information on who the reviewers are. I just have a username and maybe like one other thing. So hopefully you are listening to this podcast. You're going to hear your username, and you are going to let me know who you are. Okay, some of them I can tell who they are. Some of them I cannot. So we'll see. We're going to see who number 28 is, which is the first number, and then we're going to see who the next number is, and we'll just go from there. Okay, so drum roll. Let's see who number 28 is, all right? It's going to be a moment of silence while I count these down. 1, 2. $27, $28. So this says Scott in Idaho is this person's username. So if you are Scott in Idaho, I'm gonna guess that you're gonna be able to show me that you are living in Idaho. Probably have a law firm in Idaho. I think I know who it might be, but I'm not sure. Then congratulations, you just won the 10-pack of my most influential books. I just I just kicked a book out and added a book in this weekend. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck is a really, really good book. It's a mindset book. I loved it. It was awesome, and I would encourage all of you to read it. Scott in Idaho, Scott in ID is really what the username is not going to have to worry about buying it, because I'm going to send it to him. Okay, let's do another one, and we'll see what pops up. Okay. Oh, number 2. Oh my gosh. I know who number 2 is. Doggone it. This son of a gun. Okay, so number 2 is a gentleman by the name of Michael Munson. Mr. Munson is a long-term friend of mine, like grade school friend. He's a lawyer in Kansas, and I was just back in Kansas, as some of you know. By the way, if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, @TheChristopherSmall, you get to see like some day-to-day stuff. You get to see some cool stuff. I'm going to actually take a picture of this right now. You'll get to see some other interesting stuff, but I talk a lot about, that's where I would show you my books. I show where I'm at, show what I'm doing. And I was back at a 40th birthday party that he was at too, and I made him write this review for me. So that's son of a gun, man. It's typical that he would do that. So anyway, let's pop this up on here on Instagram so I can tell him that he won. He's gonna blow a gasket. There we go. We'll do that in a minute. And congratulations to Scott in ID, assuming that's Idaho, and to Michael Robert Munson of Junction City, Kansas fame. All right. So, I think that's the logistics that are out of the way. All right, please, you guys, go rate, review, do all that kind of stuff. All right, it's very helpful, and I really like to read them and appreciate the feedback on what's going on. Okay, but today we're here to really talk about what I think is probably the true secret to law firm success. And I guess what I'll say is this: it's in the past you may have been able to not have this, but it's not true. Because you'll see what I'm saying here in a minute. But at the end of the day, this thing is the number one thing that will get you to the success that you want. Whether you want to stay relatively small or get relatively big, it doesn't matter, but you're going to have this, particularly in today's day and age when there's so much availability of people to see you and to get to know you and to learn about you before they come in, right? And what I'm talking about is the best way to describe it is just authenticity, right? It is not being afraid to be the person that you are and not being afraid to be different from everybody else. Not being afraid to be like a little quirky or a little bit, whatever, Rain Man-ish. Like I talked about this concept at one of the Inner Circle live meetings, I think probably in January. And I pointed out sort of you've got, I used an accountant as one of the examples, but there's I can't remember what that guy's name is anyway. But a perfect example would be, you have Louis Litt on one side and you have Harvey Specter on another side, right? You've got someone that's very sort of plays it by the vest, very, very locked and loaded when it comes to being in the books. And then you've got Harvey Specter, who's very much a people person, right? He understands the law, but he really sort of just like uses the world and his charm sometimes to get things done. My point is with those two characters, and I also used, Denny Crane, Denny Crane from Boston Legal. And then I used Ben Affleck's character, the accountant. I don't know if you guys ever watched that movie, but those are sort of like two very, very broad ends of the spectrum. Ben Affleck's character is super introverted, Denny Crane super extroverted, that kind of stuff. My point, though, with that whole thing is that there are people willing to hire you no matter who you are, okay? They want help. They want someone that they know that they can trust. They want someone that they believe in, that they think is good. And the only way to create that bond, the only way, particularly when we have video, when we have audio, when we have all these different platforms to communicate with people, the only way to do that is to be yourself, all right? And that is super easy to say, and it's really, really, really hard to do because you got to put yourself out there to get judged. People are going to judge your voice. They're going to judge your mannerisms. They're going to judge the way that you talk, like your diction. They're going to judge the background of your videos. They're going to judge the way that you look. They're going to judge the things that you say. They're going to judge all of it, right? And however, to put one caveat in, people aren't really that concerned about judging attorneys in our attorney videos. I don't get that much feedback on my videos, and I make a lot of them. So you're probably not going to get that much feedback either. But even the thought of it happening, even the potential that it could happen is freaky for a lot of people. But you got to just know that that's the only way to really connect with your people, to connect with the people that like you. Like think about my style, the way that I talk, the things that I share. Part of I think, and think about this, by the way, this is kind of meta. We're going meta here. But think about the feelings that you have about me, all right? Think about whether or not you trust the things that I'm saying. Think about whether or not you believe the information that I'm giving you. A big part of that comes from you believing that I am the person that I say I am, right? It's so funny when when I meet people in person, when I talk to them on the phone, one of the things that they always say is that, like, dang, you are just like you are on your videos, or you are just like you are on the podcast. And what I tell them is that is the point, right? That is the whole idea. That is the reason that I make these, is so that everyone has the opportunity to see who I am, to judge me for whatever that means, and to decide if I am a good candidate for someone that they want to work with, someone that they want to be with, someone they want to be close to, right? Someone that they want to interact with. And not everybody likes me. Not everybody likes my style here and in my law firm world, right? But that's okay, because the people that do like me really like me. And the people that do like you are going to really like you too. But to do that, you have to get over the hump. You have to get outside of your dome. You have to get outside of your mind, and you have to trust that being authentic and being vulnerable is going to work, and it's not going to like cascade down on you in a heap of fiery ash, whatever, right? And how do we do that? Okay, it's pretty simple. You really just have to be yourself. Think about the times when you are the least worried about people judging you. Ironically, it's probably not at a family gathering, but it's probably with your buddies. It's probably with it could be like with your kids maybe, right? It could be with some of your family. It could be with maybe just a group where you share some common interests. The person that you are there, whoever that person is, that is what you want to try to find and channel when you are making your content, when you're thinking about the way that you're interacting with potential clients and with regular clients and with vendors, with everybody. You just want to be that person all the time. And by the way, there's a really, really cool side benefit of this. You start to feel really great because you just get to be you. It's really sort of like enlightening. It's really fun. It's really kind of exciting because what starts to happen is you start to lose that fear of being judged the more that you put yourself out there, and the authenticity and the vulnerability begins to feel really good. You start to become more in tune with who you are and what you're doing and what you want, and it's really nice. I guarantee you'll gain a little bit of confidence as you do this, and you see the response that you get from people. You see the reaction that you get from people. It's pretty amazing. Okay, now you don't have to do this, and 97% of you are not going to do this, and that's not going to prevent you from being okay. But if you really want to get great, if you really want to have rock star clients, if you really want to have people that just cannot talk about you enough, if you really want to resonate with people that don't know you that well, you're going to have to be yourself. Okay? That means crack those stupid jokes that you make. That means talk about things that you're interested in. Every once in a while here I talk about Kansas basketball. I'll talk about whatever you want. The thing is about here is that, I'm interested in business, and I'm interested in marketing, and I'm interested in mindset. And so these are things that I'm actually interested in. That's why I talk about them. But I'll tell you one thing for sure. When a potential client comes into my office, if they own their own business, we are having a conversation about that business that has nothing to do with estate planning, because I'm interested in it, right? That's who I am. That's what I want to know about it. I'm just curious. And you need to let that curiosity go. You need to let yourself go a little bit. Now, if you're a jerk, right? If you're a total, meanie, let's try not to do that. Although you will probably get some clients that really enjoy that. They're probably going to be grumpy too, right? But at the end of the day, what you need to know is authenticity is really going to win the day for you. Okay? I don't know if this is even recording right now, but my screen just froze, or just my screensaver just turned on. So I gotta turn it on real quick. There we go. I'm sure it was still recording. Okay, so that's the lesson of the day right there. Be authentic. And the way that okay, so let's talk about real world. Let's talk about some exercises, some strategies that you can do to figure out who you are if you're not sure. First thing I would do is I would identify some of these TV characters, right? And it doesn't have to be lawyers either. Just who do you resonate with that you see on TV, right? That's probably a decent reflection of your personality in general, and of kind of maybe even how the world sees you a little bit too. I can tell you, for example, I'm much more like in line with Harvey Specter. I'm much more in line with Denny Crane, Alan Shore's character on Boston Legal, than the accountant guy. And there's another guy that had Asperger's on Boston Legal. I can't remember what his character was, or that guy. I'm just much more sort of like laid back. I know what I'm talking about, but I'm not as serious as other people are, And that's okay. If you're serious, be serious. Just own that though. Dive into that code, dive into those statutes. Talk about that stuff. Dive into the cases. If it interests you, talk about it, because other people are going to find that interesting because of your interest level in it. If I got on here and talked about case law and stuff all the time, I'd be just droning on. I would be because I wouldn't be excited about it, But if you're excited about it, talk about it. That's the easiest thing to do. The other thing to do is literally just sit down and think about who you are. do some videos where you really try to relax, where you imagine that the person or that the camera that you're looking at is that person that makes you comfortable enough to be you. Okay, it's basically as simple as that. All right, so that is it. As always, if you if you like the podcast, rate, review, subscribe, get in line to win these books. 20 more people, 20 more reviews. We'll do another run. Okay. Everybody else that's already subscribed and reviewed, you're still in that mix. So stay in. Don't leave me. If you are in Kansas City, theunconventionalattorney.com/laser workshop. Come and sign up. There's still a couple open spots left. I literally just created this last night. So, a few people have signed up already, but there's room for more. 15 total. So don't wait too long, because that will probably fill up. I'm guessing. Let's see. That's it. If you that's it. I'm not gonna give you any more stuff. I did mention going to @TheChristopherSmall on Instagram. You might want to do that, because that would be fun. But in any event, that is it. Thank you so much. As always, I really appreciate you and everything that you do, and your guts for starting your own firm. And I always appreciate you for listening. So that is it. Have a great night. Have a great day. A great everything. All right. It's 9 o'clock in the morning here. And I will talk to you again soon. All right. Bye.